There's one. What is that?
It's my Dale call.
That's way better than my duck call.
If you're on a diet of taking it up a notch,
It's just different.
drink Diet Dew, the only diet with dew in it. Build anything with the 2015 Toyota Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
You're watching Hooked Up on Bassmaster.com, presented by Toyota.
Welcome to it. Welcome to it. It is time for Hooked Up. Welcome to Guntersville, Alabama. Welcome to the final day of the Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite Series event. Tommy Sanders, Mark Zona.
Yes.
And let's hear it. Let's rev it up one time for the 7-time Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year, 4-time Classic Champion, the one and only, never been one like him, Kevin Van Dam.
Boy, thanks, guys. It's boy, what an exciting event here at Lake Guntersville, one of the best lakes in the country. You know, I've got a ton of history on this lake. I've started fishing here. I fished my first Bassmaster event in 1989, and Guntersville never disappoints. And today was a special day on the water.
Kevin Van Dam, I have a question for you. We have a thing, Bassmaster.com, Bassmaster magazine.
Sure.
The top 100 lakes in the country, and it's grown to be a little bit controversial. And we said on Bassmaster Live this weekend, folks, I'm dead serious. Hands down, bar none, without a doubt, Lake Guntersville is #1. So, folks, do me a favor. If you don't agree with me, just write James Hall, the editor, because he's the person that votes on it. Where does it fall for you, friend?
It's right up there at the top. You know, the thing is Lake Guntersville has so much habitat, but what makes this lake special, it's the fertility of the Tennessee River, and it's all the grass. I mean, this lake with grass, and I've seen it both ways over the years, this lake with good grass is unbelievable. I mean, this lake has never been in better shape than what it is right now, and hopefully it stays that way for a long time.
Kevin, I'm not going to lie. I believe it's the fans. I'm talking about Roll Tide.
Absolutely.
You see what I'm doing here?
He's a bandwagon
It's
guy.
blatantly obvious, believe
Yeah.
you me, as we watch some
Sorry.
footage. Look at the big ones coming out of this place. Kicks them out year in and year out for so many reasons. You just enumerated some of them there, Kevin. You've won 3 tournaments on the Tennessee River system, one of them right here, 2007. And what's different this time around? What little tweaks does a guy have to do to win this tournament?
Well, the big thing this week is the spawn is going on. So these guys are having to figure out what's going on every day, these fish staging, you know, so that's a real critical deal. And whoever figured it out the best today is going to take away with the trophy.
Will it be this man who won in 06?
How are you going to top it?
I don't know. I'd like to stage dive. Will y'all catch me if I dive out there? Only a couple people.
3 of them. 3 of them are going to catch you.
That sounds dangerous. I don't know if I want to stage dive.
I wouldn't do it if I were you.
Well, for Mike Iaconelli to make that stage dive, he was going to have to catch him today, Kevin Van Dam. This is actual footage from yesterday. This has been a fragile event. Even though the weights are big, Kevin, this is a fragile lake right now.
Tell me about it. That's why I'm standing here today and not out there. I mean, these fish have been really changing a lot every day, and that's the hard thing, is to be consistent. You know, we've got a lot of things going on. Some of the guys are fishing around some of the bridges and that. Those are bottlenecks. Those are funnels that the bass have to go through when they go into spawn and come back out when they're heading back to the main river. But the other guys like Iaconelli and Walker, they've definitely, you know, been fishing out there on the spawning flats, and those fish are the ones that have been hard to follow.
Don't know if you've been following our guy Carl Jochimson out there, our rookie from down under. First time ever we've had a guy from Australia here. He's been getting after it every day, caught 26 plus on his biggest day of the tournament, keeping himself in this thing for a rookie. That's got to be the thrill of a lifetime.
I love his energy. I love his attitude, and you know, you can tell he's had a smile on his face all day long. He's just loving the moment.
Does it surprise you that Spring Creek Bridge, where the Classic was won, is yet another big player this week?
It really doesn't. You know, to be honest with you, I kind of ruled it out just because I said there's going to be so many guys that fish there that nobody's going to be able to do well. Well, lo and behold, he's kind of had it all to himself, and he's just, he's made it play every day. And, even today he had a good morning.
And these bridges play this time of year before that grass tops out.
Absolutely. Again, because they're a bottleneck funnel, you have all that riprap, and then you have that one opening where that current goes back and forth through. Any fish that's going into the back of these creeks to spawn or coming out from spawning has got to go through there. And if you hit it when they're there, that's when you're going to do well.
Other thing was, it seemed like he was on quality. This was not a quantity deal this time around.
Well, that's the beauty of Lake Guntersville. It's pre-spawn, big bass, they're fat, they're healthy, and they're ready to eat.
The Australian fans are going wild all across the pond. We've been hearing from them on Bassmaster Live.
I just had an absolute blast. You guys were there and Bassmaster Live, and I knew everyone's watching back in Australia. And biggest thing for me was to make the 50 cut, and now I'm up there near the maybe the 12 cut, which is just amazing.
About 5 in the morning over there in Australia. He says people are staying all night. Refreshing bass track as we go to David Walker, and what a week he has had.
Exactly right. And here's the thing. This week, Spring Creek, Seabold, David Walker up at Goose Pond, the same usual players on this week.
The spawning areas.
Absolutely. Kind of explain these areas, why they're always productive.
Well, the real key is grass flats, shallow grass flats have the great habitat. All these areas have tremendous spawning habitat, hard bottom, a lot of shell beds and things like that up there in that 3 to 5 foot of water where these fish are going to go to spawn. That's where they go every single year. It's well known. You just got to be there at the right time when those big females have moved up. It hasn't been a problem catching bass this week. What's been a trick is to catch those 5+ pounders.
David Walker, 25-5 on day number 2 of this tournament. That was by far his biggest day. Otherwise, for guys like him, for guys like Skeet Reese, for guys like Mike Iaconelli, wasn't like when Reese won in 2010 catching 30, 40 fish a day. This is a slow grind. It's 7, 8 keepers a day, right?
Yeah, it's been a lot tougher, because the fish are all scattered up on these spawning flats. It's not like when we've been here before where they're grouped up out there on the river where you can throw a crankbait out there and catch them every cast, we had 100 bass days then where you're sitting in one spot and just catching them cast after cast. Now you have to move around, you have to mill around, and you have to run into these fish in some of these spawning areas. The guys are fishing slow, but having to cover a lot more water, and the bites are far and few between.
Skeet Reese fishing Seabold Creek, Town Creek, as you say. Big players every time we're here. He's one of the only anglers that has been able to cover water, able to move around, but he's only done it with one weapon.
Yeah, he's throwing a big swim bait. That's what Skeet loves to fish. He's from California. That's where that whole craze started. And he's got a ton of confidence in it. And that's really what all these guys have had to do this week is find that one confidence technique, get in an area, and just fish around. And with that swim bait, it allows him to be a little more efficient than a guy throwing a Carolina rig or just a Texas rig lizard or something. You can cover more water. And he's targeting both pre-spawn and post-spawn fish that are first moving up. He's caught a lot of them off boat docks and a lot of them off laydowns.
Individual fish, not giant schools.
Yeah, not schools, just you get one bite here, one bite there. And a lot of his spots are reloading, another fish. Because the fish are still coming in. Guntersville is so awesome because it has such a huge population of fish. It takes a long time for them to all come up and spawn. And that's what Skeet has done is he's really capitalized on those areas of those fish coming up.
When you fished here and you won here in 2007, was there a single solitary soul fishing with a swim bait in that tournament?
Probably not. It's just a different time of the year, and what's going to happen here in a couple of weeks is going to be totally different again. Once that shad spawn starts, a lot of these fish are on their way out right now from spawn, and they're going to be out on the river. It's changing really fast. It changed every single day this week out there on the water, and again, the guys that kept up with it really did real well. Iaconelli did a fantastic job, unbelievable the first 3 days.
Absolutely.
It's really incredible performance. So I don't know how he finished up. I know he had a tough morning this morning, but he's got nothing to be ashamed of, man. He did a fantastic job to adapt every day because none of these guys, other than Skeet, I say most of these guys, had to change up every day. A few of the guys fishing bridges, threw the same baits in the same spot every day. But anybody fishing out on those spawning flats and that had to change. One day you catch them on a moving bait. The next day you have to catch them on a slow bottom bait. And that's the trick is knowing when to make those changes.
Kevin, This lake is dominated with hydrilla and milfoil. Really, that's all you concentrate on when you come here. There's something new in here, and it's starting to grow, and that's eelgrass. How will that change Guntersville?
It's really changing the fishery. I'm going to tell you, for a crankbait fisherman or a power fisherman like myself, it's frustrating because when the wind blew yesterday, it just shredded so much of that grass. You couldn't make a cast with a crankbait or a spinnerbait or anything like that without just being balled up with that eelgrass. So it's not the eelgrass on the bottom, it's that floating eelgrass that really causes a lot of problems. But bass love eelgrass, and eelgrass grows in current. So all the ridges and things like that you're gonna end up getting a lot of that eelgrass on it, and I think it'll be good for the future of it. You know, the lake being a little clearer and having a lot of vegetation is gonna have a great impact on a healthy bass population.
One of the things, looking at some of this footage here, folks, I'm dead serious. There have been a lot of changes in the last 2 hours out on the lake.
Yep.
We're gonna see some fireworks literally in the last 30 minutes.
We said it earlier, and it happened.
Absolutely. And most of these guys in contention say that last hour has been off the charts. There's been big things happening in the last hour. We got a weigh-in coming up in a matter of moments. Dave Mercer to find out the last man standing at Lake Guntersville. That is on the way.
Ladies and gentlemen, let's hope that's a game changer right there.
Build anything with the 2015 Toyota Tundra. Toyota, let's go places.
Come on now. Oh, that's a good one. Look at that one. That's a nice one. Look at that one right there.
Think you could win valuable prizes from Bassmaster? You can't know unless you enter, and entering is easy. Go to Bassmaster.com. Enter now for a chance to win an expenses paid fishing trip with Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year Greg Hackney, including a prize package of Greg's gear from Dick CPAC Tires, Garmin, Quantum, Gamma, Stormer, Strike King, and Bass Mafia. A fishing trip with Greg Hackney and gear for your own adventures. You, the winner of a valuable prize? Could be. All you have to do is go to Bassmaster.com to enter today and every day. Hey, it could be you.
There's one. What is that?
It's my Dale call.
That's way better than my duck call.
If you're on a diet of taking it up a notch,
It's just different.
drink Diet Dew, the only diet with dew in it.
It's the Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite at Lake Guntersville. Brought to you by Toyota, GoPro, Brighton Boats, Bass Pro Shops, Evan Williams Bourbon, Nitro, Humminbird, Mercury, Skeeter Boats, Minn Kota, Berkeley, and by Yamaha. Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to the stage, Dave Mercer!
Championship Sunday at the Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite Series. Who is ready to get this party started? We travel all across the country, but finally the Bassmaster Elite Series has come back to Shannon, you got them ready to go. Well, a big round of applause for yourselves, ladies and gentlemen. We are going to get started in just a couple of minutes. I see some of our anglers chomping at the bit to come up here, but we need to start this event as we start all events, and that's with the national anthem. I'd like to pass the honors off to our DJ, Shannon.
Thank you, Dave. Presenting the colors for us once again today, please welcome from the 1166 Military Police Company, Sergeant Eric Alford, Sergeant Bradley Whitehead, Specialist James Faulkner, Specialist Matthew Owens, Specialist Stephen Scott, and Specialist Alexander Terry. Singing the anthem for us this afternoon, from the First Baptist Church of Guntersville, Ken Patterson.
Color guard, present, arm.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say, does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave?
Forward, march. Route step, march.
Alabama, the original home of the Bass Angler Sportsman Society. We're excited to be back here. Who thinks that Lake Guntersville is the best bass lake in the world? Well, if you paid attention throughout our weigh-ins, many anglers believe that, but we travel all around the country. We've got international anglers in our top 12, of course, the first ever angler, the only angler to ever qualify for the Bassmaster Elite Series from Australia here this week, Mike Iaconelli, Skeet Reese, so many heroes, but we had many Alabama anglers in here, and we've spent a lot of time talking about them, but I'd like to introduce one of my favorite Alabama anglers. I need you to get loud. He is our tournament director, Mr. Trip Weldon. Trip, anytime we come to Alabama, it's always a special feeling, but what a week we've had here on Lake Guntersville.
Again, Dave, you said it, Lake Guntersville, phenomenal fishery. Take care of this place. I said it yesterday. I've been doing this a long time. I saw it in a down cycle, and I've seen what it's done really the last 5 or 6 years. Just incredible. But it's been an amazing week. You know, I want to go back to the 2014 Geico Bassmaster Classic. I want to thank Maury Yancey for putting us on to City Harbor right here. We had 11,500 spectators, set a record. Mayor Lee Dollar, we appreciate Guntersville, Captain Police Chief Jim Peterson, all of the city services, Katie Norton with Marshall County, CVB, our host, and Mike Mason, our volunteer coordinator. It's been a fantastic week, and man, look at this crowd. I look out here, and it makes me proud to be from Alabama. Now, I will say, you know what color I bleed, but my wife is an Auburn Tiger, so let me hear from the Auburn Tigers. And I bleed Alabama Crimson Tide. Let me hear from my Alabama friends.
We are just about ready to weigh some fish here, but an incredible crowd. Everybody's turned out here. I know we have some very special guests right here in the front row. Who here in Guntersville is happy that the Bassmaster Elite Series has come back? Well, Trip, that wouldn't be possible without the great mayor of Guntersville. If you can stand up, let's recognize the mayor of Guntersville right in the second row. Mayor Lee Dollar, thank you very much for having us here. And this is totally impromptu. And if I can ask, Edwin Evers hiding out behind it here, the truck right here. If you can come around here, because we need to pay tribute to Edwin Evers doing a Wounded Warriors Fishing Day tomorrow. And let's hear it for Edwin Evers and his special guest, one of the Wounded Warriors. Thank them for everything they do for all of us. Now, we are just about ready to weigh some fish, but I'm going to be honest, Trip. I mean, the fish were big. The fish were big this week. It was an exciting tournament, incredible support, but the crowds were a little bit quiet the last few days. I've got a different vibe from especially that dude right there, absolute maniac. You are going to be our cheerleader. I mean, you don't have the looks for it, but you look crazy enough to do it. What is your name?
Cheney Kennedy.
All right. Now, are these guys going to cheer here today?
Oh, yeah, they are.
How do you know that?
I believe in them.
Okay, well, you need to give them some encouraging words.
I don't know what to say.
That's the problem. People don't know how to cheer. So can you give me an absolute crazy fan cheering? Right now. 1, 2, 3, go. Whoa! Whoa, 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 whoa. Either somebody was just stabbed or come here. What was that?
That is the cheer right there.
Good, good. Are you married? I'm not shocked. He's not married, ladies and gentlemen. Were you ever married? You have been? All right, and not anymore. Okay. You are single. Ladies, he's single, okay? Let's hear that one more time. Lord, that's... Listen, this morning, I saw 2 children in kangaroo pajamas cheering on Carl Jacobson. I thought that would be the weirdest thing I would see today or hear today. It is not anymore. I appreciate that. Thank you very much. We are just about ready to weigh some fish, ladies and gentlemen, but you have a very important job, and everybody here needs to make lots and lots of noise. We bring our anglers through, and always we'll do this trip. We'll spin a towel for the people back there if they don't hear it. So, ladies and gentlemen, when you see this towel spinning, I need you to go absolutely crazy. Let's check it out. That's pretty good, but I want you to get louder than that when we get this party started. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, are you ready? We started with 113, cut it down to 53, and now just 12 remain. This is the Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite at Lake Guntersville. Are you ready? I know you can get louder than that. Are you ready? Let's get ready to win! Our first angler, an 8-time winner at the FLW Tour, making his very first Bassmaster Elite Series 12 cut. Get loud from Newport Beach, California, Brent Ayler. Brent Ayler started the day with 60 pounds and 9 ounces. He's bringing us a 5-fish limit, needs 9 pounds even to take the lead away from Mike Iaconelli and load our Toyota Tundra hot seat. 5 fish, all alive, 17 pounds, 8 ounces. With 78 pounds and an ounce, Brent Ayler takes the lead. Get loud, ladies and gentlemen, his first Elite Series 12 cut, but I can guarantee you it will not be his last. $17 pounds, 8 ounces, going to give you 78 pounds and an ounce, and a great tournament here. You know, only your second Elite Series event and already fishing on Sunday. Got to feel good.
Oh, it feels great. You know, I've always wanted to fish the Elite Series, and you know, to make it this year and to come out here and fish. I mean, this crowd's insane. I mean, Guntersville's awesome. The town's amazing. The lake's even better. I mean, it's a great place to be and a great place to make the Elite Series, you know, the cut. So I'm ecstatic.
Tell me how you caught them this week.
You know, I caught them all on reaction baits this entire week, and it changed. The early, in fact, the first day, I caught them on more crankbaits and a Lucky Craft 1.5. I caught them on a Lucky Craft LV 500. and a swim bait. And then it kind of just progressively changed, so I caught him more on a vibrating jig. So you're just winding nonstop. My hands are killing me from just making so many casts. It's just been grueling, but it's fun when they bite that thing, man. It just, they jerk the rod out of your hand.
Well, it's great to have you here. I know you'll be back here on Championship Sunday and many more events in the future. Going ahead to the west coast of our next swing. I know you're looking forward to that.
Yeah, I can't wait to get out there. I'm going to start driving tomorrow to go back to California, and I'm going to hop in my GoPro rig and head on out there and go home for a little bit, and only have a half a day drive to the first tournament, so I'm excited about that.
Want to congratulate you on a great finish. Let's hear it for Brent Ayler, ladies and gentlemen. That's right. You don't get to go anywhere. You need to load our hot seat. He is leading this deal, so he's going to sit in that seat. And the goal, this is your first 12 cut here at the Elite Series, and you know how it works. The goal is to stay there as long as you can. He may be the second last guy. Mike Iaconelli, come up here and see if you beat him. But kick back or relax in the Toyota Tundra hot seat, and we will keep on rolling through. Our next angler, 2 Bassmaster wins in the last 2 years. From Guntersville, Illinois, get loud for Chad Morgentaler. Chad Morgentaler, 2 Bassmaster wins in the last 2 years, hot off another Bassmaster Classic qualification. Already qualified for the 2016 Bassmaster Classic via his win at the Bass Pro Shops Bassmaster Opens. Had 60 pounds, 15 ounces, looking for 17.3 to take the lead. 15 pounds, 7 ounces, moves into second place with 76 pounds and 6 ounces. Get loud for Mercury Pro, Chad Morgentaler. Well, Chad, no matter what way you look at it, unfortunately not going to take the hot seat, but no matter what way you look at it, a great finish here this week.
You know, anytime that you get to come to a lake like this, one of the best ones in the nation, it's always a good thing. And I was so glad I made the 12 cut. Yes, it pays well to be up here on the last day, but I didn't want to leave. I bet I've caught 30 to 35 fish every day of the tournament, and it's just been a blast. You know, I kind of done something a little bit different. I tried to catch the fish coming and going. I tried to set up on pre-spawn and post-spawn places. They weren't very deep, but they all had something in common. They had grass around them in about 8 to 10 foot, and they was shell beds on top. And with that, you know, I just laid off of them. I'd set in about 8, 9, 10 foot of water, and I'd cast to about 4 to 5 foot, and I'd just slow roll. A biffle bug is what I caught every single one, and I'm not kidding. I actually had to beg Tommy Biffle. I thought he was going to get in a wrestling match in his boat because I was trying to get some from him before he got out of here, and he wasn't going to give them because he thought he was going to make the cut. So anyway, we got that out of the way, and it's just been a great week. You guys, this place is unbelievable. If you take care, these fish are so healthy out here with the eelgrass and everything that's going on. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And it's getting ready to blow out of the water. I can't imagine what another 3 weeks is going to be like at this place.
Another great start to the season, and after this we make a trip to the West Coast. You got to be looking forward to that. Some giant fish obviously down there.
Yeah, I mean, anytime that I get the opportunity to get around great big fish and it's got grass, I'm excited to say the least. We haven't been out there. I've been out there one other time, so it'll be interesting to see how I can apply what I've learned over the last 10 or 12 years to the Delta. And then Havasu, I have no idea what to expect, but I look forward to new challenges. And again, just a great start to the season. Thank you all for being so kind, and the hospitality, the crowd's unreal. Thanks again.
Let's hear it for Chad Morgentaler. Speaking of the West Coast, our next angler from the West Coast. He's weighed in the 5 biggest bass in Bassmaster history. Holds the all-time record. He is a 4-time Bassmaster champion. From Lake Havasu City, Arizona, Dean the Machine Rojas. Dean Rojas started the day with 62 pounds and 10 ounces. He's bringing us a limit of fish here on Championship Sunday. A great start to the season. Boy, oh boy, you're going to be looking forward to heading home with the start you've had towards that Angler of the Year rush. 5 fish looking for 15, 8, 12 pounds, and 10 ounces. Not going to take the lead, but Dean Rojas moves into third with 75 pounds and 4 ounces. Boy, a great start to the season here. Right in contention, a quarter way through the season, and in contention for Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. And 2 events from now, you get to sleep at home. I mean, you're going to be fishing your home body of water. So this could be Dean Rojas' season. How you feeling?
Well, I feel great. I've kind of got a motto this year: one fish, one day at a time. And I don't want to look too far ahead. I want to stay in the moment. I want to stay right here and concentrate on each tournament day, figure everything out, how I want to put a game plan together, and so far it's been working out. So I've been doing this for 16 years. I've tried to do everything I possibly can to win that Angler of the Year title. Obviously that and the Bassmasters Classic title are 2 big ones that I would love to hoist one day, but it all starts right here. It starts in the season and starting everything out, but man, what a great crowd. It's nice to come back to Guntersville. It's a land of giants. We talked about it last year at the Classic back in 2014, and just a place that God, every cast could be a big fish. And today was like I was in 10th place. I was 6 pounds out. So the bag is light. I had 20 pounds every day up until then, but I went for the big ones today because I need to go for the win. I mean, these small ones ain't gonna cut it. So I picked up my biggest ducket rod that I had and threw the biggest swim bait I possibly could most of the day, and I caught fish that were actually bigger than the swim bait. So it's something that it was a rough day today, but I'll take the points and everything. But I want to say a special thanks to Boyd Duckett and Duckett Fishing. Boyd, obviously, I see a lot of Duckett shirts out here, a lot of Duckett hats, and even more Duckett rods fishing out there on the lake. He's a great guy. He's a great ambassador for the sport. And he really cares about Lake Guntersville. He's working real hard with the commission on spraying the grass and everything to take care of this lake. So we have many more years to come back here and catch these world trophy fish here on Guntersville. So I want to say a special thank you to Boyd and Jennifer for hosting me all week. Appreciate it.
Before we let you go, I got to ask you, how'd you catch your fish this week? What were you using? What was the setup?
Well, folks, the first 3 days I caught them all sight fishing. All big ones. The second day I had 2 5-pounders that were located, and a big wall of pollen came in there and blocked them all off. But it saved them for me for yesterday. So I had 20 pounds yesterday, 20 on second day, and 22 on the first day. So I was real consistent. The problem is after yesterday it was done, completely over. So it got 60 pounds, got me in the cut, got me some good points, and got me here. I caught them all on a big bite warmouth. A little bluegill design that I've fished many years, and the big bite fighting frog was the 2 key baits this week. And God, it's so cool looking out all this crowd here, man. Thank you all for coming out. We appreciate you. Thank you so much. We look forward to coming back. Thank you very much, Dave.
Let's hear it for Dean the Machine Rojas. Pretty good. It's working out pretty good. I mean, you've dodged a couple of pretty big bullets right there.
Yeah, being in 12th place is kind of like showing up to a party early. You're always cool until the cooler people get there. So I'm here for a little bit, but you know what? If the cooler people get here, you know what? I'll be late one of these days. So I'll look forward to the next one.
Well, you're looking pretty cool to me right now. So kick back and relax, and we will keep on rolling through, ladies and gentlemen. Our next angler, a former Bassmaster Elite Series champion, a member of the Bassmaster Century Club via his win at Falcon Lake a few years ago, a 3-time Toyota Texas Bass Classic champion. Get loud from Huntington, Texas, Keith Combs. 62 pounds and 15 ounces as of this morning. He's got a 5-fish limit. Looking for 15 pounds and 3 ounces to take the lead. 20 pounds, 7 ounces. A brand new leader in Keith Combs. Keith Combs takes the lead once again. Anytime we go to, I used to say anytime we go to a big fish factory, you're always in contention, but it seems like anywhere we go, you are in contention. But another great finisher. You're leading this whole deal. With that, you unfortunately knocked Brent Ayler. I guess you're the cool kid at the party now, according to Brent Ayler. But tell me about your week.
Man, this is going to take a while because as we were talking yesterday, it changed every day, and today was a dramatic change from yesterday. From the start, the first day I caught him a little bit deeper. I caught him cranking a ledge, throwing a Strike King 6XD and an 8.0. That's our new square bill. Threw it on a power tackle rod, 15-pound cigar line. That's my cranking setup. So the second day, I think I'm going to blast him cranking. Well, I don't get a bite cranking, and I have to catch all my fish Carolina rigging. Through a Strike King game hog, and that was in grass. The first day they were on wood. The second day, every fish I caught was in grass. So another, huge change. So, I retie my Carolina rig for day 3, and I go out there and I can't get bit on. I have to catch him yesterday, throwing a Strike King Pure Poison, chatterbait. So 3 days, 3 different deals. So today I had everything tied on, and today I actually caught him on a swim bait and a 6XD. So once again, it's just, it's hard to stay with him, but the thing that got me excited today was this morning, I haven't been able to figure the fish out early, and this morning I caught every one of those fish in the first hour, and I thought, man, I'm going to smoke them. And that was the extent of my day. So it was, just an hour of just chaos, and then about 8 hours of just twiddling my thumbs.
That seems to be a pattern we're hearing this weekend. That early bite. Some guys have had an afternoon bite, but the early bite has really been key. Why is that this week? Why do you believe that that's the key bite?
That's a good question. My opinion on that is what I'm fishing for are primarily post-spawn fish. They're fish that are coming out and they're relating some bait more than areas they want to spawn in. And I was looking at the generation schedule, and every day they said that they were generating from midnight to 5 o'clock in the morning. So, I think that gets the fish positioned on the structure when you first get there. If you're fishing that way, and you can knock them out. Some of the guys that are still fishing for spawning fish, once it heats up, they're catching them a little bit better. So, really, you needed a 1-2 punch, I think, probably to win this, and I bet whoever wins it had that.
Well, you may just be you. Congratulations, you are leading this whole deal with 83 pounds, 6 ounces. With that, we say hello to our brand new leader, Keith Combs, and goodbye to Brent Ayler, but a great top 12 finish for Brent Ayler. Let's hear it for him as he leaves the stage. All right, we're going to keep on rolling. And as Brent Ayler said, he was the cool kid at the party. Now Keith Combs. But this next kid, he's pretty cool, ladies and gentlemen. He's a 3-time Bassmaster winner, a former Bassmaster heavyweight record holder from Boerne, Texas. Get loud for Byron Velvick. Byron Velvick started the day with 63 pounds and 10 ounces, and oh boy, it looks like he went to work here today. There is a bulge in that Berkeley Havoc weigh-in bag. 63 pounds, 10 ounces, looking for 1913. 24 pounds, 7 ounces! Byron Velvick takes the lead with 88 pounds and an ounce. Get loud, ladies and gentlemen. Livingston Lure Pro Byron Velvick getting it done on Championship Sunday. Hollywood. 88 pounds and an ounce. Going to weigh that one for Bass Pro Shops Big Bass. 6 pounds, 7 ounces. You are leading the tournament. You are leading Bass Pro Shops Big Bass, and now you are the cool kid in the party. Tell me what's going through your mind.
I have never been the cool kid in the party, so that's actually really, I'm the one that doesn't get invited to the party. I don't even,
Whatever, dude. Everybody knows about your life. Your life is a party.
No. My wife and my daughter are watching, and they know my life is no party because I'm the one I was changing diapers. I was the one. She would say, hey, we'd work together on the baby thing, but I loved being home with my daughter. I'm a stay-at-home dad when I'm not fishing. That's what I love to do.
Well, you got you. Well, you were fishing this week, and you came through in a big, big way. Tell me about your week. How'd you figure them out, and what'd you catch them on?
Well, I got to start by telling you, the coolest thing happened. I run Triton Mercury, which is, in my opinion, the best combination of a boat you can buy. And I'm out there running around, and I kind of, I love these new Garmin units because they're real accurate. But the thing is, you get so dialed in at looking at stuff that you kind of stop and fish a lot. And so something happened that was really a weird deal. I was fishing an area for so long that my batteries went dead. You know, have you ever had that happen where you stay in an area and your electronics are on, your bilge pumps are on, or your live wells are on, everything's on, and so I go to crank my battery and it's dead. And I'm going, how am I going to get in? And there is a cool little thing they have called Tournament Saver Pro that you push a button and it takes all the voltage from your trolling motors and throws it at your crank battery. And it jump starts your boat. And I thought I was dead in the water until I pushed that little button, turned the key, and I was able to get in. Thank gosh for that. But I mean, it was a crazy, crazy tournament. And I really came here thinking I was going to do two things. In fact, I want to do two things: sight fish and swim baits. And you know I love doing both.
Yeah, you did very, very well. When did you figure out that you were on the kind of fish that could get you here to Sunday?
I started losing the fish the first day. Sadly, everybody loses fish, you know, and I was losing fish early, and I'm throwing a swim bait and I'm looking at them. And the deal is, I came here saying I'm going to throw big swim baits because I know you guys know I love to do that. And I got two baits that were key. The first one, it's a bait that I've been throwing since 1995, a Bass Tricks. Everybody Bass Tricks, but they're real hard to get because it's a guy named Bruce Porter in California. His factory, his shop's about as big as this stage where he makes these things. So it's like the super hard bait to get. Guntersville Tackle has them still, and I went in there and bought some extra ones because the fish were tearing them up. So me and Skeet Murray were hitting Guntersville Tackle, and we're like, oh, I can't believe there's still some stuck on the shelf over here. But you guys want to check it out. It's a 7-inch Bass Tricks. And then the other bait that I would change up to, and this is what was cool around the bridges and all that, these fish are keyed up on big baits. I mean, they're after gizzard shad, and the gizzard shad are spawning. So what you got is you're throwing your bait out there and you're reeling along, and it feels like a worm bite. It goes tick, 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 tick. That's a gizzard shad hitting your bait trying to spawn with it. So if you throw something small like a 4-inch or 5-inch or 6-inch, it's too small. And when you start getting in that 7, 8, 9-inch size, those gizzard shad think it's a bait that they can spawn with. So I'm throwing a new Livingston lure prototype bait, and it's really cool. It looks like the California baits, like the old Ragos and all the other hand pours, but those baits never were consistent. They would always run, I call it halibut. You know, when you reel them in, they turn into a halibut. They go sideways. So they swim like a little halibut. That's not a good thing when it goes sideways and you're reeling it in. So I was throwing a big bait, and I was fishing a lot of water, looking at bedfish, dude, it was just a great. Vicious Vision glasses helped me see things in the rain. I saw bedfish in the rain, and I really feel like I got on these fish every day. I had the chance to win this thing. If I don't win it, you know, it's gonna be a bummer if I don't win it because it was there. You know, I had the bites. What can I ask for besides that?
Well, an incredible event after one of your toughest events of the year, and you're heading back to your original home out in the West Coast. You got to be looking forward to that.
Delta and Havasu. Yeah, that's going to be fun, but I don't think they're going to eat the big baits like they do here. So yeah, I won't be taking my Livingston prototype baits there. I think I'm going to be fishing smaller stuff. But I want to thank you guys. I want to say something about Guntersville. You guys have been amazing. Look at this crowd. Thank you so much. This is the nicest group of people. They always got out of my way. They'd ask me which direction I was fishing. They'd move out of the way. If I was looking at bedfish with my glasses and they'd be in an area, they would never big motor out. They would just creep out on their trolling motors. So I want to thank each and every one of you that was on the water giving us the room to do what we do for a living. I can't thank you guys enough for that. I really can't.
With that, we say hello to our brand new leader, Byron Velvick, and goodbye to Keith Combs. But before Keith Combs leaves, let's give him a big round of applause, making it here to Championship Sunday. Alabama, ready for one of your very own? He's a two-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. Came very close to winning the Classic just a few years ago. From Wetumpka, Alabama, get loud for the Rooster, Greg Vinson. Hold those fish, Trip. Before we even look at those fish, don't pull them out. Just leave them right there. I heard today's a very special day. Today is his birthday, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I am a horrible singer, but I know who's an incredible singer. It's this guy right over here, okay? Sing happy birthday to Greg Vinson, all right? 1, 2, 3, go.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Greg. Happy birthday to you.
This is the world's largest surprise birthday. Are you going to let him win just because it's his birthday? No, he won't do that, I bet you. Let's put those fish on the scale. Started the day with 64 pounds and 3 ounces. Came up here and got humiliated by us all singing happy birthday to him. Let's see what he's got weight-wise. He's got a 5-fish limit. He needs to have got him big. Byron Velvet came out swinging, and he has made it a tough act for you to follow. You need 23 pounds, 15 ounces. 5 fish, all alive. 14 pounds, 11 ounces. Not going to take the lead. But a great event making it here to Championship Sunday. A great event. Unfortunately, not gonna finish with the title here this week. But I know you told me after the Guntersville Bassmaster Classic, which was an event you really had a lot of hopes in, and it didn't work out the way you wanted. You called this event redemption, and a top 12 finish. That's got to be redemption on this body of water.
Oh man, it doesn't get any better than this. I'm fishing in my home state of Alabama on the best lake in the world, in my opinion. And I'm fishing on my birthday, the top 12 of the Bassmaster Elite Series. It couldn't get quite better unless I had won, and that's what I did today. I fished to win. I fished the one area that I felt like might produce the fish to win, and they didn't show up. But I had a blast. I caught so many fish today. I caught most of them this week on a jerkbait, and I couldn't get the gizzard shad to spawn with my jerkbait, but the bass sure seemed to like it, so it was all good. But I wanted to mention one thing, guys. We've waited, and it's awesome that this happened today. OutdoorFriendsForever.org, guys. Check that website out. It's a group that's near and dear to my heart. I've been involved with them for a long time. This year, we're going to give the boat away at the end of the year. We're going to take donations of $100, and each time you make a donation, you get a chance to win the boat at the end of the year. We're going to do it in December. And look for the group on the boat. It's OFF, OutdoorFriendsForever.org. My good friend Jim Hardy, Jim and I grew up fishing and hunting together in high school. And Jim was injured in a hunting accident. He probably won't tell you a whole lot about it. But he's made this such a big positive thing. He's influencing these kids' lives that have disabilities. They get to fish and hunt. A lot of them, it's the only opportunity they have each year to go fishing and hunting. And I've had an opportunity for several years to be a part of it. It's been a blessing in my life. It's just always one of the most joyful things I do each year with that group. So check them out, OutdoorFriendsForever.org, guys. Go get you a chance on there to win the boat.
Well, congratulations on a great finish and a great cause. I'm going to let you go kick back and relax and start your birthday party. But before we bring our next angler up, let's hold him back there for a second, because you guys, at the beginning of this weigh-in, I kind of said that you guys haven't been cheering. You guys have been doing a phenomenal job. Let's hear it for this crowd. We wanted to let you guys, who here wants to be on ESPN? Who here wants to be on ESPN and show everybody around the world that Guntersville is a place not to just come catch fish, but have a party? Well, the best way to do that is to make lots and lots of noise and be absolutely crazy. I want you to give me, see all these cameras around here? We've got cameras all around this place. I want 30 seconds of absolute insanity. We are halfway through this weigh-in. 6 down, 6 to go, but 30 seconds of absolute insanity. 1, 2, 3. All right. I think you did pretty good, but this is Guntersville, Alabama. I think you can do better than that. Let's try this thing one more time. Finally, the Bassmaster Elite Series has come back to 30 seconds of insanity. 1, 2, 3. All right, let's keep this a party rolling. Our next angler, also representing the great state of Alabama. He's a former Elite Series champion, won the very first Elite Series event he fished, went on to win Rookie of the Year that year. He is from Grant, Alabama. Get loud for the Wolverine, Derek Remitz. has a unique opportunity to take his second Elite Series title in front of his hometown crowd. And boy, oh boy, by the looks of that Berkeley Havoc weigh-in bag, it has been a very, very good day for Derek Remitz. He has 64 pounds, 8 ounces, looking for 2310. 20 pounds, 13 ounces. Derek Remitz moves into second and forever puts himself on Byron Velvick's Christmas card list. $85 pounds and 5 ounces, good enough for second place at this point in the weigh-in. Going to weigh that for Bass Pro Shop's Big Bass. Current leader Byron Velvick, 6'7", and still leading that one. That's 4:15. But boy, a great run at this title, a great finish, and you look at your hometown crowd. Got to make you feel pretty proud to be here.
Oh, this is a pretty special day. I mean, I just had a flurry in the last 10 minutes. I don't know why they waited all day to show up, but they really tested my patience. It was just 4 big bites right in a row, and had to leave them biting. And look at this crowd. I mean, this is just amazing. It's great to have all this hometown support, even though I'm from across the river. But I consider Guntersville home now, and this is this is pretty cool.
How did you catch him this week? You obviously had that big flurry at the end, but what was the game plan? When did you figure these fish out? And did you have one technique, or were you like a lot of guys were changing day after day?
I kind of figured coming into this one, to win this tournament, barring fishing a bridge, you'd have to really do a lot of different stuff every day. I mixed it up between shallow and offshore. I caught some big fish on some swim baits. I did weigh a few big, my key fish yesterday, and on a 7-inch Optimum swim bait. It's just an original old swim bait. And of course, some on the hollow belly. Got a new hook from Hog Farmer I got that works great for that 7-inch hollow belly. It's just been a fun week. I think the first day and yesterday, I kind of hurt myself knowing a little too much about the lake. I burned a little too much gas, didn't settle down. I'm still very happy with where I finished. It was just, it's just a great week. It's great to catch them at home and have all these fans pulling for you.
Before I let you leave, I know you got some sponsors you'd like to thank here in the local area.
Oh, definitely. New partnership with Waterfront Bay across the lake. It's new ownership this time. We got plenty of cabins, all the tackle you need. It's a one-stop shop for bass fishing on Lake Guntersville. We got everything you need. We got biscuits in the morning at, what time, 4:45, I think they're ready. You got any kind of biscuit you want, tenderloin, sausage, bacon, it doesn't matter. We'll make it for you.
I will see you there tomorrow morning. Let's hear it for Derek Remitz, ladies and gentlemen. Byron Velvick still chilling out, having a good time. But this next angler, the first angler ever to qualify from Australia. A lot of anglers come into this with local support. This angler comes in with the support of a country on his shoulders. Let's bring him up here, ladies and gentlemen. His second Bassmaster Elite Series event. From Queensland, Australia, Carl Jacobson. Carl Jacobson started the day with 64 pounds and 8 ounces. Needs 23:10 to take the lead from Byron Velvick. 5 fish, 17 pounds, 7 ounces. Moves into 4th place with 81 pounds, 15 ounces. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a dream come true for this young man. Get loud. Welcome Carl Jacobson to the Bassmaster Elite Series. Carl, an incredible week for you. I know you wanted to take this title, but boy, you've dreamed of getting to the Elite Series for years. Only your second Elite Series event, already in the 12 cut, in contention to win this event. And never mind what happened on the water, you absolutely blew up the internet, destroyed the internet. With Bassmaster Live, the amount of comments and feedback that we got from people that stayed up literally all through the night to watch you compete here, it has been humbling for all of us, and I can't imagine how it would feel for you.
Yeah, no, this week has changed my life forever, I think. And that one magical day, that second day I had is something I'll never forget, and this whole week was something I'll never forget. And it was just it's one of those things where you just, if you get knocked down, you got to just, it's not how many times you get knocked down, it's how you handle it and how you come back. And I had 105th at Sabine, and that was so easy to just get rocked and my confidence down, but you just can't do it. And I come back here and did this, and it's amazing, really. I don't know what to say. This is a dream come true, and I hope that my story can get out there and inspire some people that just want to, whatever you want to do, you can do it. Because if I can move from Australia and live my dream in America, you can do anything.
It was a lot of fun for all of us to watch it. You know, that day two when you went into full wallabeast mode is what we're calling it. And it was a lot of fun to watch, but I know you're going to be back here, but you got to have some sponsors you want to thank before you leave the stage.
I will. I've got a ton. I don't want to forget anyone, but I will just tell you a little bit about how I caught them. I fished a jig almost all week. One of my big sponsors and huge supporters that helped me got here, Miller Rods. We're going to have the range out this year. They're called Miller Rods, and I used a Jig Freak, and it's been 5 years in the making. He's been over here every single year, and he's the #1 rod builder in all of Australia. And he's come over here and designed me the perfect outfits for everything that I need. Never lost a single fish all week on a jig. And today they bit so finicky that I could just feel the line just humming through my hands when they'd have the jig. I was fishing it on rip wrap and bridges. The Spring Creek one was obviously like that. They would have to be the most pressured fish in probably all of the entire country, and I could still catch them. So I was fishing super slow. On the second day, I had a magical thing happen where I came under the bridge just here, moving out of Spring Creek. I had 22 pounds on a jig, and I went underneath there just looking for jig fish. I'm running 2 dual Hydroways, the brand new H2, and there's a new sound they've recorded. It's called Bait Blitz, and the fish here just haven't heard it. I believe it was helping me with the jig bite as well. And the massive threadfin shad, like Byron was saying, came up underneath the boat and was sitting 2 inches underneath my boat around the entire boat. I got a speaker on the back, speaker on the front, and it brought them up from 15 feet, and I backed off and upgraded every single fish I had in there on a Kitech swim bait for 26 pounds.
Made history this week, the first ever Australian to make a 12 cut here in the Bassmaster Elite Series. I know it's not going to be your last. It broke the internet. You had children in kangaroo pajamas cheering you on. And the best part for me is I love my job, but one of the coolest things is I get to see things that nobody else sees. And as soon as you start talking every day, you should see the reaction on some of these ladies' faces. It's the gift that keeps on giving, but I know you're looking forward to the West Coast swing.
Yeah, actually, when I first moved out here, I moved to LA, and with Gary Boyd, he was the only person I knew in America, and he looked after me for the first 8 months. I lived on Havasu. I fished for a while, and I fished the Delta, so I'm excited to get there. So I want to say a huge thank you to all my sponsors, because without them, there's no way. With visa and all the things I've had to go through, my expenses are just through the roof. It would be impossible to do it without their help. I want to say the Mad Hueys, they got on board. They're a clothing company, cool as in Australia. They're surf and fishing crew. They travel the world. They're cool guys. And the Mad Hueys, make sure you check them out. Hobie Fishing, they got on board with me before I'd even made it. Before I was fishing one Bassmaster Open series here, and they called me up and backed me, and ever since Hobie Fishing has got on board every single year, up the ante. Without them, there's no doubt I wouldn't be here. Of course, my rod sponsor, Miller Rods, he's been one of my great mates since I was 15. And then Hydrowave and Amphibia, and all as well. You'll see I have Team Jockimson, Fear My Heart, and that's these guys have 40 years experience on me on largemouth. I've been catching largemouth for 4 years, and my will and determination has to compensate for that, and I think it did this week. I just want to say a huge thank you to America. You know, I love my country, I love Australia, but America opened its arms up to me and welcomed me into their home. So from Australia and from me, I just want to say thank you.
We are going to see a lot of this young man in the future, one of the hottest young anglers we have. Let's hear it for Carl Jacobson. Oh, let's keep them rolling through. Our next angler, ladies and gentlemen, a 4-time Bassmaster winner, 3-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier. Get loud from Park Hill, Oklahoma, one of the most feared anglers of professional fishing, Jason Christie. Jason Christie started the day with 65 pounds and 7 ounces because of the incredible job that Byron Velvick did. He needs a big day. He needs 22-11. Looking for 22 pounds, 11 ounces, 16 pounds, 8 ounces. Not going to take it this week, but with 81 pounds, 15 ounces, Jason Christie moves into 5th place currently. £81 of 15 ounces. Going to weigh that for Bass Pro Shops at Big Bass. Current leader for the day, Byron Velvick. Oh, you've got a tag.
Yeah, I'm going to show you the first fish that I caught this morning. I made $150. Yeah, I actually caught one in practice, and I thought it was grass hanging off of it. I actually thought it was grass hanging off of it, and I let it go, and somebody told me that there was a tag system. I thought, well, that's probably my luck. You know, I let the $1 million fish go, and it's swimming around. But I got him back today. It wasn't the same fish. It was 5 miles away, but I got him. So.
Anytime you're fishing on a Sunday, you know it's a good deal. And obviously the odds in your favor with catching your first fish, making money before you even get here. But tell me how you caught him this week, and when did you figure him out?
You know, for me, it was a real crazy week. The first day I caught a couple sight fishing, caught some on a swim bait. The second day it changed. I mean, I caught some on a swim bait. They would come up schooling, like Carl had talked about. They'd push those big gizzards up, and I'd pick up a spook and catch 1 or 2. You know, it changed every day. And then, you know, the day that was really crazy was yesterday. We talk a lot about in fishing about don't give up. I think that the last 5 minutes is as important as the first 5 minutes. Well, I had 9 pounds yesterday at 2 o'clock. And at 2:15, I had almost 24. And I was down, I'm not gonna lie to you, but I stayed hooked up, and that got me today. And what I did today was I felt like there was one thing that I could do to catch enough to win. And I went and did it. And if we went fishing again tomorrow, I would do the same thing, you know. Well, I want to say today the local people out fishing were awesome. I mean, they backed up and they let me fish wherever I wanted to fish, and not only me, but we all appreciate that, and it really helps a lot. And I want to thank the sponsors for, you know, from Bass. Without that, we wouldn't have a tournament here. And my sponsors, Falcon Rods, Made in the USA, Luz, Ranger Boats, Mercury, the Cherokee Nation, and Yum Baits. You know, I caught a lot of sight fishing on the Christie critter this week. You know, just without the sponsors that I have, like Carl said, I wouldn't be here, he wouldn't be here. That's the reason that we're here. One more thing, and I'll let you go. I missed birthday this week, one of my daughter's birthday. I want to tell Allie happy birthday, and I'll be driving home as soon as one of these guys wins this tournament, or that guy. I'm making him sweat. He's one of those guys that he kind of spins out, so we want him to spin a little longer.
That's a true friend right there. Well, I want to congratulate you on a great finish, and we look forward to seeing you on the West Coast. Ladies and gentlemen, let's hear it for Jason Christie. Byron, before you go and sit down, I mean, this is working out pretty good. I mean, there's only 3 guys to beat now. I mean, it's not that scary, are they?
Can we disqualify Skeet for some technicality? Is that possible? Is there anything he did wrong? Did he, go to the bathroom in front of some kids and did something bad? Hey, I got to say something. You know, you sit on that chair and you realize you forgot to say something. I got to say one thing since you're giving me the microphone. And it's technical, but everybody talks about rods. And if anybody out there is going to try throwing a swim bait, any of you are going to go buy a big swim bait, I got guys in the elite tournament that borrowed my Duckett swim baits this week because, as you know, I don't want to talk about a guy's, rods, but some can be too limber and some can be too, what's another word? Heavy. Don't say stiff, right? You can't say stiff. No, you can't talk about a guy's rod being that. But if you want a rod that's right, that when they hit the swim bait, it absorbs the shock. So get a ducket rod. I use a ducket reel. And don't ever talk about a guy's rod being too limber or too. I'm not interested. Jeff! That's a bad thing to say about. Don't talk about another man's rod. But I got to tell you guys, ducket rods are great, and I am sweating it. And yes, I want Skeet to be disqualified. How many more do we have? 3. Oh, David Walker's up there too. I'm dead. I got no chance.
Go sit down and relax for a few minutes.
Sign my head. I'm outta here.
No, sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, if you think that was a commercial, it was. Let's keep them rolling through. Our next angler took an Elite Series win just a few years ago down the road at Lake Wheeler. He's a 10-time Bassmaster Classic qualifier from Sevierville, Tennessee. Get loud for David Walker. David Walker started the day with 67 pounds and 4 ounces. And Byron, I'd be nervous right now. Looking for 20 pounds, 14 ounces. 17 pounds, 4 ounces. And David Walker made it all the way through to Championship Sunday. Get loud, ladies and gentlemen. $84 pounds and 8 ounces, and David Walker moves into 3rd place currently. You told me at the beginning of this week, you said after a tough finish in Orange, Texas, you needed to have a big finish here. Well, congratulations. You definitely did that in spades. Tell me about your week.
Oh, it's been an awesome week, really. I told Kevin, I said, I felt like Kevin Van Dam all day today. Man, I was fishing so good out there. And, I just didn't get a big bite today, but that was key for me this week. I did not lose not one single fish the entire week. Not a short fish, not any of the big fish that bit. Every fish that bit that chatterbait this week went in the boat. I caught most of my fish this week on a 3/8 ounce Z-Man chatterbait, rigged it with a 4-inch diesel minnow on the back of it. And that's what I was using, kind of searching for those bedfish. Basically catching bedfish that you can't see. On the outside edges of that milfoil, it's really just starting to grow in 3 to 5 foot of water. I just cast and wind and feel that. When I get to that good grass, put the power poles down. And those were really important this week because those couple of days where the wind was really howling, I could set those poles down and I could make fan casts and I could really pick that place apart because that was what was key, was you had to be patient. And that, my stubbornness this week really paid off and got me through to this event this far along, because had I not been early in the event, I started off trying to fish too fast, trying to hurry up and catch a big Guntersville bag, and it wasn't happening for me. So once I slowed down, then all of a sudden the wheels started getting a little traction, and then here I am on the stage on the final day. But my hat's off to everybody here in Guntersville. This is an outstanding place to have a tournament. If you're a bass fisherman, you owe it to yourself to make a trip to Guntersville Lake and experience this kind of bass fishing, because there's not a lot of places in the country like this. The fans are awesome, the fishing's great, and I will come back here anytime you want to have another event here.
Before I let you leave here, I know you have a lot of sponsors you want to thank that helped you get here, but before we let you do that, I also want to ask you, the Tennessee River has been really good to you over the years. Why does it set up so well for your style of fishing?
I don't really know exactly what the reason is for it sets up that good. I think it has a lot to do with my confidence in the Tennessee River. There's a few places in the country you think about the Coosa River to catch spotted bass. You think about the St. Lawrence River to catch smallmouth bass. When you think about bass fishing, largemouth bass fishing, the Tennessee River is the place for me. I mean, I love coming to any part of it, any one of the lakes. I live on the very upper end of the Tennessee River where it starts at, just north of Knoxville, Tennessee. And so I get to see this water that goes by my house and comes all the way through here and heads all the way down to the Gulf of Mexico. But this is one special place for me, and I love to do flipping. I love to go out there and crank deep cranking, but and you can do both of that on the Tennessee River. But my sponsors this week, Ranger Boats and Evinrude, I've been going to and back and forth and running up and down this lake. I tell you what, I moved around a lot, and when I'd stop, put those power poles down and stay in position and using those Lowrance electronics and putting that Navionics chip in there, that's really important because it showed you where those high spots were, the little details were, and that was what was key this week, was knowing that you were on that shallower part of it, not just looking at the points, because a lot of those places looked like it wasn't even a point there, and they would come up in a high spot and be a clear on there, and that's where the fish were spawning at. But I want to thank everybody out there for being so great to me, and you know, my hat's off to Byron. He managed to catch those big ones every day. Outstanding job.
Congratulations, David Walker. And Byron Velvick stays in the lead. Ladies and gentlemen, anyone ever have a roommate that you got in a fight with? Maybe they stole something out of your fridge or something? These guys are roommates. We may see a roommate break up here, but let's bring through our next angler. He's tasted victory here before. The last regular season Elite Series event we had was here in 2010, and he won that title. He's a 7-time Bassmaster winner, the 2009 Bassmaster Classic champion from Auburn, California. Get on your feet for Skeet Reese. Started the day with 67 pounds and 6 ounces. Looking for 20 pounds and 12 ounces. 25 pounds, 5 ounces. Skeet Reese takes the lead with 92 pounds, 11 ounces. Once again, Skeet Reese delivers on Lake Guntersville. $92 pounds, 11 ounces. Skeet Reese, what an incredible tournament. The last 2 days, over 25 pounds a day. That fish right there weighs 6 pounds and an ounce. And the nice thing is, you did not beat Byron Velvick out for Bass Pro Shops Big Bass, but I'm sure you're not worried about that right now. This title is definitely something that you have your eyes on, and gotta be, I don't know what was going on over there in wherever you guys were staying, but I mean, the water, something in the water works out, because you guys both sitting here with just one angler left to go, sitting in 1 and 2. Gotta feel special.
It feels really good right now, but I gotta say that I would not be in this position if it wasn't for Byron. So I came into this tournament thinking that there would be a swim bait bite. I mean, it's set in pre-spawn, spawn. It's like, man, this is one of the greatest lakes in the country with 4 to 8 pound fish that you can go throw a big stick all day long. You're not going to get as many bites, but you're going to try and capitalize on big ones. And I did that for 3 days of practice out here, and I sucked. I had a horrible practice for Lake Guntersville, and came in, and he knows I was down and out, and I was not a happy dude. And then he happens to show me a new bait. It's a Bass Trick, 7-inch Bass Tricks. And he's like, dude, this is like the bomb out here. He goes, I caught a couple big ones. I'm like, ooh, that thing's cool looking. I got to get some. So I got some. And I went out the first day and I caught 25 pounds on it. So he's like, thank you, Byron. He came in. I was like, thank you, Byron. But then day 2, I broke a couple of fish off, had the opportunity, good bag. And then day 3, it was John Murray the night before. He said, oh, man, they were biting IU better than I was throwing a chartreuse shad. So he gave me 2 baits. And I went out yesterday and caught 25 pounds on those 2 baits. So the way this tournament has transpired is not normal. I just fished by the seat of my pants. I fished new water every day. I bailed on everything I fished in practice. And I went pre-fishing during the tournament. And every day I was able to find a new spot, a new fish here and there. And when I won in 2010 out here, I was catching 100 to 200 fish a day, throwing a Lucky Craft crankbait, burning it. This is just the opposite. You had to fish super slow, and I wasn't getting a lot of bites. I get 1 here, 1 there. And fortunately, I was able to get a few good bites each day, but I mean, I really, truly, if I'm able to win this thing today, I owe it to Byron, so thank you, dude.
That right there is true sportsmanship. Champions both on and off the water. Let's hear it for Byron Velvick. Byron, before I talk to Skeet again, I just want to talk to you. I mean, incredible sportsmanship there to help your roommate, but is there just a tiny little part of you right now that's wishing you didn't say squat?
You can't lie to your roommate, you know? You have a good day, you come in, and there's only a few people I trust. No, I shouldn't say trust. I work with in the sport, you know? Rick Clunn, Ish Monroe, Skeet Reese, and John Murray are the guys that we talk to each other, and we share information. You don't hold back, you know? And I was kind of bummed. I know this guy's always got a shot at Angler of the Year. He's one of the greatest anglers, probably the greatest angler in the world. In my opinion, he's the best there is, you know? And so... Yeah, well,
He's just trying to win some money from Skeet Reese right now. He's trying to get paid.
Yeah, he's making dinner tonight. But you gotta help your friends out. You gotta be honest with your guys that you're fishing. It'll pay its back 10 times over. So today I actually went and found him some more baits this morning and I said, dude, if nothing else, win this thing. And I felt like a NASCAR guy that had extra tires in my trailer, and my driving partner needed tires to win the race. And I was in the race too, but I really wanted to see him win if I didn't win. So, dude, I really hope the best for you. And we've been friends for 25 years, and it means a lot to me if I don't win it to see him win.
If that's not a bass fishing bromance, I don't know what is. Let's hear it for Byron Velvick. We'll just have you don't even need to load that seat. Just kick back, just wait a second here. Just stand off the side because we know who we are bringing through now. He is the last angler. He has led this event since day number 1, ladies and gentlemen. The 2003 Bassmaster Classic champion. The 2006 Toyota Bassmaster Angler of the Year. From Pittsgrove, New Jersey, go Ike for Mike Iaconelli! Mike Iaconelli started the day with 69 pounds and 8 ounces. Bringing his bag of fish up here. We're going to get our anglers side by side, 1 and 2, and see who our champion is going to be here. Get side by side, center stage, 69 pounds, 8 ounces. He needs 23 pounds and 4 ounces here on Championship Sunday. 2 pounds, 15 ounces. Skeet Reese has done it! For the second time on Lake Guntersville, Skeet cannot be beat. Eight-time Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Skeet Reese. What a tournament, Skeet. You went into this event telling me I'm on nothing. I got nothing going on. A lot of times you guys say that and you're sandbagging. You were not. You put this game together with the help of Byron Velvick, as you just explained. But day after day, adjusting and making it happen, and it's paid off. You're an 8-time Bass winner, already in an exclusive club. But, boy, it just keeps getting better and better. And to think that at this point in the season, quarter way through, you're going home to fish. You got to be jacked.
Oh, wow. Yeah, I am Jack. I'm fired up right now. I get a trophy. I get 100 G. But so that sucks. I know. I never could imagine this week happen the way it did. I guess there's certain lakes that you click with and you bond with, and even though it's fishing different than I've ever fished before, it's a lake that I fell in love with, and you guys have one of the greatest resources in your backyard here. So be proud of it, because there is not many places in the country that you can catch fish like this. Obviously, I gave credit to Byron and John. It was one of those things where, as far as if you want to know what the pattern was, I think the key pattern wound up being laydowns. I found some fish spawning on laydowns in practice, and I was looking at 2 and 3 pounders, an occasional 4-pounder, I think. And I just happened to pull up to a laydown, and the wind is blowing, and I just picked up that swim bait just because, and I threw it out there, whack, and I caught a 6, and ironically, I caught it right in front of Ike. And he didn't even flinch. That was like day 1. He had 28 pounds, and he didn't even flinch. I'm like, uh-oh. And I go, he's got him then, because I was all fired up because I didn't have anything that big. But that one bite kind of clued me in. It's like, all right, I got some confidence. I'm going to go fish that. And I wound up having, there's a couple magical trees. I had one tree lay down late in day 1. I jacked a 7-pounder. I just lost a 5-pounder, and there's a lot of choice things that came out, and I wasn't real happy. And I throw back out there like 3 casts later, I jack a 7-pounder. 3 casts later, I jack a 5-pounder. And I went back to that same tree yesterday, exact same cast, caught a 6-pounder. So I went back to that tree today, and there's another tree next to it. I couldn't catch him on the good tree. I went to the next tree, and I caught a 5-pounder. I'm like, this is a really good spot right here. But I kind of transitioned. I was throwing that swim bait on 65-pound spider wire, and I put a 25-pound Trilene 100% fluorocarbon leader on it, and a 7/0 Trocar weighted swim bait hook. And I was fishing on it's a 7.4. It's called my heavy jig big worm rod. It's a medium heavy rod, and a 6.4-1 Pro Carbon reel, one of my signature reels.
And the whole key was really, it was fishing slow. I mean, it was like pulling teeth out here because how many of you seen that Mercury commercial? The dude on the treadmill, and his arms are going like this and his feet are going brrrr. Well, that's how I was. I was like, I looked like it was slow motion, but inside I was going 1,000 miles an hour. It was a complete train wreck today. So trying to force myself to fish slow, even though it's a 6:4 to 1 gear ratio, which some people think is fast. I could just turn the handle real slow, cast it up into laydowns. And actually, I'm trying to figure this out. Yesterday, I just went pre-fishing again. I've been on the bank, and I went out deep on the outside edge of the grass, and I wound up catching a couple big ones. Yesterday, I found a spot late in the day where I caught a 3.5. I lost a 4.5. I'm like, ooh, this might work for tomorrow. I go back there today. I catch a 5. It's just one of those things where just I was a 1-rod Todd. Now, first day of the tournament, I had like 10 or 12 rods out because when you're going to be bed fishing, you never know what you're going to be throwing. To go from 400 pounds of gear in my Ranger to 1 rod, it's a pretty good deal. And it's when you get somebody that's dialed in a bite like that, they can be hard to beat. I just didn't know I was going to be the one to beat everybody else.
Well, we want to congratulate you and make this official, ladies and gentlemen. We started with 113, cut it down to 53. 12 went out today, and 1 man left standing. Once again, Guntersville, Skeet cannot be beat. 2015 at Guntersville Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Skeet Reese. Guntersville, get loud, ladies and gentlemen. Skeet Reese owns the Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite at Lake Guntersville.
Hi, girls. I'm waving to my girls, my wife, Kim, Leah, Courtney at home. This one is for you. I like it.
Daddy's bringing home a gift. One more time, get loud for your 2015 Diet Mountain Dew Bassmaster Elite Series champion, Skeet Reese. Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank each and every one of you for coming out here this week and cheering on our Elite Series pros. On behalf of the entire Bassmaster staff, myself, Dave Mercer, our tournament director, Mr. Trip Weldon, our turntable assault technician, Mr. DJ Shannon, we want to thank each and every one of you for coming out here. Want a special thank you to this local community, great hosts here in Guntersville, Alabama, and our presenting sponsor, Diet Mountain Dew. Make sure to follow the action all year long on Bassmaster Live. You can watch all of our events all season long. We may not be in your hometown next event, but you can watch it on Bassmaster Live. One more time, your champion, Skeet Reese.